Hi, friends. It is Monday, January 31st, 2022, the year of our Lord. And I have two perfect records for you. Two of the best records ever recorded. These are two of my all time favorite albums. I've listened to Why by the pop group as much as I've listened to basically any album. I think it's genius, start to finish. I think an album that's at the level of genius of the pop group album, which has some recognition, is the James Chance record, which sounds very similar. It was released in the same year. They both are like funk, avant punk, funk mixed with like free association. The vocalists, both James Chance and on the pop group stuff, um, the 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 basically Mark Stewart, his lyrics are more ambitious. He's trying to like fix the world. He's like talking about a broken world and kind of the crazy level of ambition on the Pop Group Y album is why it's so important to me, and I think it's such a singular record. And the way that both of these albums incorporate free jazz and funk and this incredibly depressing lyrical content about strife in the world in the case of pop group, and in the case of James Chance is more of personal nihilism and rejection of Western values. I mean, like in the pop group record, they say Western values mean nothing to her in the first song, but in James Chance's one, he's like refuting personally what we're supposed to want, what we're supposed to like. And these albums are so funky. They're so groovy. They're awesome. And they also have like this free jazz influence. There's like sax, and James Chance plays sax. I'm going to do the James Chance one first because I think people know more about the pop group than they recognize the brilliance of James Chance. James Chance was part of this no wave scene. This no wave scene developed in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was people that were kind of too punk to be punk. They were misfits among outcasts. Um, they were trying to stop punk from being codified into this aggressive form of what existing rock and roll was, and really break the limits of punk and turn it into something that incorporates funk, jazz, free jazz. Like James Chance's playing reminds me of like Albert Either and Eric Dolphy, as well as the playing on the pop group record. It's not melodic saxophone solos, although the melodies are good in the funk stuff, and then they have. Anyway, I have to start with one of these records in order for this to be a review, right? Let's start with by James Chance and the Contortions, which is basically the only record that James Chance has that's a proper record. He has collaboration records with other groups, but this is the only one with the Contortions that's a full album. And it's beautiful, start to finish. It's amazing. I recommend you listen to it start to finish. My personal favorite tracks are I Don't Want to Be Happy, Anesthetic, Contort Yourself. I'd say Contort Yourself is where you should start with James Chance to get a kind of what the vibe is. Throw Me Away is a great song. Roving Eye, Twice Removed, Bedroom Athlete, I love as a closer. Designed to Kill is a good opener. The entire record is great. I could try to explain this like punk funk no wave thing. Basically, it's people that were just the punk was the counterculture. Then it became like about leather jackets. It became about like power chords. It started to become codified into this thing that was like a uniform. So it was no longer really genuine outcast music. So these no wave artists in the 80s well, this is 79, so immediately before the 80s. They came out with a No Wave New York comp that Brian Eno produced, that James Chance features on. He's my favorite artist on that record by far. And the only full James Chance album that I think captures his brilliance is this one. And he has tons of good lyrics on it. My favorite lyrics are from I Don't Want to Be Happy. The lyrics are, I don't want to be happy. I said I like living a lie. The bright, brittle smiles are gleaming in white about their colorless crime. I could break them in two with the glint of my eye. I don't want you to know me, unless you're shallow or sly. When choosing my friends, I always depend on them like charades in disguise. Once I figure them out, they're a waste of time. That lyric, if I have a friend, once I figure them out, they're a waste of time. That is such a good lyric. If your brain is broken in a certain way. I only live on the surface. I don't think people are very pretty inside, and my idea of fun isn't having a son or being whipped on the back of my thighs. I prefer the ridiculous to the sublime. In other words, he doesn't want transcendence, he doesn't want God, he doesn't want love, he likes the chaos, he likes the irrationality, nihilism he's espousing, just vitriol. This is just contempt for society itself and just a personal expression of, I don't care about any of your rules. I don't want any of your values. I hate this society. And it's told over a mixture of punk, the post-punk, but really it's funk-based. James Chance, as well as the pop group, as well as like Mark Stewart, I think they're both a combination of Starchild from Parliament Funkadelic, a Dostoevsky character, and Eric Dolphy, or Albert Ayler, or some free jazz artist. So it's like you have the funk, you have the depressing, totalitarian vitriol, and then you have the jazz, the experimental, all together in both of these records. They both came out in 79. The term no wave might have come from Lydia Lunch. Lydia Lunch was genius. You search Lydia Lunch on YouTube and watch some of her videos. She's a very creative person. Thurston Moore, this guy, the guy who made this record, he claims that no wave, the term came because somebody spray painted no wave on CBGBs. And then the artists at that time just adopted it as no wave. I don't know. No wave is like, it's a rebellion against new wave. So it's a rebellion against a rebellion, which is a rebellion against a rebellion, which is whatever. You know, every form of new rock and roll is a reaction to the other things. So after punk, you get Pill, you get Gang of Four, you get the Minutemen, you get people that are punk kind of, but they're kind of expanding it into other avenues that include playing with cool rhythms, playing with cool melodies. And this to me is more compelling to listen to than, like I just reviewed Black Flag, Dead Kennedys. Like, I love that music, but I don't listen to that music as much as I listen to the no wave post-punk stuff. Like, I'd rather listen to a Fall record or a Gang of Four record than listen to Agnostic Front. Anyway, so that is my review of the James Chance record, which is called Bye. This is the only one that I've reviewed so far that's actually hard to find. You could probably find it here if you search. I'll link some stuff in the description. I always link stuff in the description. If you're not checking the description, you're not getting what the review is. Also, the first song on Basic Bitch Radio, my playlist that I update every day, number one right now is We Are All Prostitutes by the pop group Um, Capitalism is the most barbaric form of religion. Anyway, why? Why is Y called Y? I think because of the chromosome, because the male, because the men try to make meaning, women try to connect to people. The problem is that men are in charge, so we have the meaning makers in charge instead of the emotional experts. That's my interpretation. It might just be a pun on the letter Y, or it might just be some absurdist Dadaist thing that I don't understand. Both of these records lyrically are abstract and kind of, word salad, Captain Beefhearty in certain ways. But there's more pointed political stuff in the pop group record. It opens with Thief of Fire, an amazing song. Just a really funky groove with these really depressing lyrics. I'm in my crime, I'm a thief of fire. Uh, it's a fantastic song. She is Beyond Good and Evil is the first song on the reissue, which St. Vincent covered recently. Again, pop group Y is not as obscure. Anyway, Thief of Fire, incredible song. It builds, it's this funk groove, and then all of a sudden it falls apart, and it's just Mark screaming, and then he's screaming, I'm in my crime, I'm in my crime, I'm in my crime, I'm a thief of fire, and then the funk comes back in. It's a great song. Snow Girl, also a great song. I burn you, I melt you. It has this really ugly funk opener section, and then the chorus is gorgeous. It's this piano line and then him singing. So it's like, is the tongue that tasted steel? And then the chorus is like this pretty piano figure, and then he's singing, Snow Girl, I burn, whatever, Snow Girl. I don't have the lyrics to Snow Girl up, but it's a fantastic song. So is Blood Money and Savage Sea. These are all good songs. We Are Time. I have to talk about We Are Time. This is maybe the best song on the record. Either this or Snow Girl is my favorite song on the record. The lyrics to We Are Time. Let's see. No waiting, no running, no searching behind. I will break your time. I will break your mind. Waiting is a crime. All will be now. Dreams are too fast. You are the first. We are the last. Last. No sequence to follow. No fear of tomorrow. Kiss of neverness. Life of timelessness. We'll break the speed of change. We'll tame eternity. Time is within you. Shines through your eyes. We'll kill the world. Black letter lies. 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 Your world is built on lies. Time. Catch up on your bill. You got the work, so what to do now? I, you, we, our time. I, you, we, our time. Time Trinity shines through your eyes. We'll kill the world. Black letter lies. All will be now. Dreams are too fast. You are the first. We are the last. Amazing. Amazing lyrics. Some of my favorite lyrics that have ever been written. I also really like Me. I like Don't Call Me Pain. I like Boys from Brazil. I like Don't Sell Your Dreams. I think this is a flawless record start to finish. I also really enjoy Start to Finish by James Chance and the Contortions. And these are two incredible records. If you like one of these records, you'll probably dig the other record because they're both like punk, funk, no wave. I mean, the pop group are in England, so they're not technically part of no wave, but it sounds like that. Mixing free jazz, mixing kind of more poetic, emotional stuff, and we're at 15 minutes. So Hare Krishna, I love you, and don't follow leaders and watch